Hey YouTube family, how are you today? I am in such a funk with all this Summer Wells stuff. I care so much about this little girl being found. I would just give anything for her to walk back up on that hill. And I just want y'all to know, I don't want to be in Dawn and Candace's life. I mean, it's like talking about like issues that come forward. But it just seems like it's all relevant. Like everything that they've done while raising these children have led up to this very point in their life. And it's really sad. They've both dealt with addiction, both dealt with abuse, different types of abuse. Candace, it's just a really sad situation. You've got all these people's lives, not just Summer and the boys and Dawn and Candace, but it just has spread so much bigger than their little family. It has affected all of us. How many of us has cried for this little girl and those boys? And how many of us have laid awake at night wondering where she is and that the boys are okay? And how many lies we've had to sift through to try to ultimately just simply find Summer. I think there's knowledge out there. I think more than one person knows what has happened. They may not all know where she is, but may know how she got gone. Just the living conditions, and it's just so heartbreaking. I am thankful that the boys are in safe places right now and that they can lay their head down at night and not have to worry about mom and dad arguing and fighting and how that makes them feel. But it's also sad because, who knows? Maybe they miss mom and dad, and mom and dad haven't really gone that extra mile to make sure that they can come home. Yes, they have fixed up the house, but there's still drinking and drugs involved. Dawn's locked up, and maybe for a long period of time, depending on how his court cases come up in Utah. But it's just overall a really tragic story. I know these are real lives that we're talking about every day. And, we have to have some compassion. But then we all get so frustrated because there's so many lies out there. And we've got Ernie trying to get Candace to tell him whatever he thinks she knows. I don't think anybody should be leading them. I think it should just be you ask a question, get the answer, and not lead them in any direction. And then Candace and Dawn's guilty of this too, continuing to go back to people over and over and over who have exposed things that maybe they wished hadn't been exposed. But at the same time, that's all part of the bigger picture. That's why Summer is gone, in my opinion. And tonight, Benny's going to be, I think, in about an hour from now, he's going to be releasing a phone call from Candace, if I'm not mistaken, over the last couple days. I could be wrong on that. And it's supposed to be not very favorable when it comes to Dawn, whatever's on this phone call. And of course, I'm going to be listening because I've been following this since day one, and we went through such a period of time where there was no information coming out. So the fact that new information coming out is good and may move this case into a better position to find Summer. It's just frustrating. And and if Candace knows something that can help find Summer, I think by all means she should speak up. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, to me, they both were kind of abusive to each other. I, I mean, I'm talking about Dawn and Candace, but Candace too has been through a lot in her life. I am a domestic violence survivor, and that has lingering effects that, in some ways, and it's been 20, 25, 6 years for me, and there's still like little things that, just like, I don't know, like wanting to call home and check in when it's not necessary, or little things like that that just will probably always be there. And the long term drug addiction that they've both had, I think it's numbed them to a lot of the feelings. None of us want to think that they could have had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. I don't. I don't want to believe that. But there's just so many unanswered questions that, and I care so much about Summer that I want to know the answers, just like all of you. I mean, Summer's brought us all together, and I think YouTube has maybe caused a little bit of a stir, but at the same time has kept Summer's name out there and not let this go cold. And I think it's put pressure on the police department and the law enforcement to keep pushing forward. And I'm thankful to Detective Pruitt for saying he's not going to let this go cold. And I don't think any of us will either. But I don't know. I just wanted to rant a little bit, I guess. Probably going to go over and listen to what Benny has tonight and see what she says. But like, I want to believe that those emotions with Ernie were sincere, but at the same time, with her playing the games that she has with Mary and other people, and able to fake emotion at the drop of a pen, it makes you question and see. It's like a lot of their behavior is the reason that so many people question them. Well, listen, I'll get back with y'all maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Depends how much I got to think about what is said. But I will be back, and I appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a good night.